Hello, dearest learners. I am Saiman Khan, and I'm here today to discuss with you all the importance of a blessing that we human beings have got. What do I mean? Well, speech, the power of words, is the gift given by Almighty God, agreed? And just to the human species, no one else has this power of speech, words. Are we using it correctly? Are we misusing it? Is speaking equating to communication? Is listening equating to hearing? These are the questions I would like all of you to ponder for a while before we begin with communication skills and active hearing. How are these two related, which leads to communication? Have you all pondered? Well, before I continue again, I would like all of you to think about what is communication skill. We are talking so much about it, but what is it? What is communication? Well, communication is when a speaker and a listener talk to or listen to each other in such a manner that learning takes place. That is communication. That means we have communicated with each other. On the flip side, I speak, you hear, you do not understand anything. Is that communication? Not at all. Moreover, if I ask you a question, you just hear, you do not listen, and I ask you to obviously answer that question. Is that communication? Will you be able to answer correctly? Not at all, because you have not heard, you have just been listening to sounds. If you listen proactively, only then we can understand. So let us come to a conclusion that communication skills and active listening leads to learning. And isn't that the agenda for every conversation that we have? All the discussions, that is, all the speeches. It is not just about speaking, it is about speaking, listening, understanding, and then relating it to one's own life. You are following that. My English teacher, way back in Kolkata, she told me that if you do not speak with clarity, Saima, I will not be able to understand what you are speaking. How true. We talk about phonics, and we think, most of us, a large section of society, that phonics is the work, classwork of the pre-primary students. Well, perhaps if it is taught correctly, then we do not have to ever think of the word phonics, or we do not have to think that what does it actually mean. But today I would like to begin with phonics and then go into the topic of active listening as well as communication skills. Why phonics? Well, phonics is of prime importance, and today I'm talking about the English language. Why? English is a language of words, absolutely correct. 26 letters, agree? Equating to, and that is pitted against how many sounds? 26 sounds? Well, 44 sounds. So if we are not aware of these sounds, will we be able to speak with coherence, that is logically, with conciseness? We'll keep using a lot of words, and then the listener gets all, the mind is fogged, and it goes round and round in circles because the speaker is not speaking with clarity in a concise manner, with the correct pronunciation. So, whom is to be blamed, the listener or the speaker? It is the speaker. And now we'll just talk about the speaker first. Phonics is the journey of sounds. I will not go deep into it, just enough that we communicate with clarity. 44 sounds. 5 vowels. The 5 vowels have got each one of them A, E, I, O, U. Each one of them, what do they have? They have the long vowel sounds and the short vowel sounds. This is imperative that we should know. Why? Because if we try to make the long vowel into the short or vice versa, there is a gross mispronunciation, the meaning changes, communication will not take place. For example, I want to say ship, a ship at the beach, ship at the beach. I know nothing about the long vowels and the short vowel sounds. This is a real example. It has happened. That's why I'm using it. So it becomes what? A ship at the beach will become a ship at the beach. The beach will become a bitch, a female dog, and the ship will be converted into a sheep or vice versa. So we must understand the long and the short vowel sounds. We must understand the pronunciation of each letter if we know the concept. Like we say sh and s are two different words, right? For sh, it is sh, like a ship, and the letter s is, it is not is, it is snake, school. And then, if you do not know about these pronunciation, school will become is school. There are still a large section of society which say is school. It is school, smart. And if we know how to speak correctly, I assure you, the listener will be able to understand, that is, comprehend, and then implement. That is what our aim in life is. As a teacher, as an educator, as a mentor, in the house, at home, as a parent, right, as a grandparent, there has to be that transmission with no errors, because that will lead to gross misunderstanding. One more example. I asked my child, who is big enough, to please bring a pan. A pan. I didn't mean that. So poor child goes to the kitchen and gets the pan for you. And the child is wondering, why is my mother asking me for a pan sitting in the study where you're supposed to study, in the study room? The child brings, the mother is horrified. She says, my child is not understanding. No, the problem is with the parent's speech. It is not a pan. What she wanted was a pen. So each letter has got its own sound where we must know when we are blending them, we should know how to do so. So I wanted a pen. I opened my mouth and it became a pan. So even if we are at a higher level, the best possible procedure to speak correctly a language of English, let's just take a quick recap of phonics by any teacher who you think will teach you in a concise and a short manner. Knowing too much also leads to misunderstanding because then you do not know how to apply. So is that clear till here? So if I want to say that, have you all received my message correctly? And instead of that E, I open my mouth a little more than which is expected. That message will become a massage. MESSAG and MA. This is what is English, and this is what is communication skills. Now, in order to speak correctly, we must be active listeners. That means when we speak, it has to be with clarity. Till the last letter, we must pronounce. Otherwise, the meaning once again changes. I want to convey a point to you, which is perhaps not very simple. So, should I make it even more complicated by using too many words? By using difficult words with a difficult pronunciation? That does not make any one of us a good mentor, a good teacher. Our role, a teacher's role, is to simplify the language into components which is understandable by the listener. And the speaker, you're the listeners. And it must be a two-way traffic. It can't be that only I keep speaking, the mentor, not bothered whether the listener is understanding or not. So, in order to speak correctly, to speak without, I'll just explain. Like I, and that goes on. There are many people in society who do speak like that. And unfortunately, many of my colleagues from this fraternity of education, they too, like they'll go up on stage also, and it'll be, what are these? These are called fillers. Fillers. They're not filling up anything. Why does it happen? That one person is speaking well, you say, wow, articulate. And the other person have the same class or the same school or the same staff room is not able to convey. Why? Because there is a gap between the tongue and the brain. And what is that gap of? Of words, which is known as vocabulary. Right? Where will you get those words? How much do you have to pay for it so that I stuff my head with words in order to speak correctly? It is only through reading that you can get those words. Reading is imperative to make you a good speaker good listener. But if you really want to speak well, clear all the interviews, stand, on a pedestal, not by yourself, by your learners. I've understood all that he or she said. Thus, at least 2 words per day. It has to be the mantra of our lives. It's not that now I can say, oh, I do not need to read. The day you stop upgrading yourself, communication stops. You will not be able to communicate effectively. Thus, my dear learners, read the newspaper. One of the cheapest methodologies of upskilling. Listen to the news on television. Again, not an expensive proposition. And only then you can think that, yes, I have mastered to a certain extent the English language and I speak well. I can speak for 3 to 4 hours without those fillers. Yes. So, in order to bridge that gap between the head and your tongue, in order to speak, there has to be that huge, beautiful treasure of words. And that is known as vocabulary in English, Shabkosh in Hindi. We must upgrade everything. And you can never say that I've learned it all. So this is all about speaking, the mispronunciation, coherence. Now, if I say what is coherence? Logical speaking, logical thinking, and then only you'll be able to communicate well with your listeners. What is this logic? Okay, let me give you an example. And we must give examples for every statement that we make, otherwise, we'll not be justifying what we are saying. Coherence. The simple task I have to give, perhaps my house staff. She is perhaps not as literate as you are. So, what should our basic language be? I don't mean by which language, I meant to say the type, how we speak. Shouldn't it be simple, with few words, with clarity, and it should be logical? I just want to tell her that please make breakfast early tomorrow because I have to go to the hospital. I have this problem, and it's really being very painful. So I think I'll have to go to the doctor. I think I have to go to the doctor tomorrow. So I think you should make the breakfast a little early. And then again, I think that what should you make? Now, all these thinkings has confused that poor young lady because her mistress is not articulate, is not logical. There's no coherence in the talk. It should just be that tomorrow I have to leave for the hospital at 7:50. So kindly make the breakfast by 7:30. As simple as that. There are others who do not complete the word till the last letter and they go to the next word. And it goes on in that loop till that entire conversation is in a loop. For example, your friend comes in, your friend's mother, whoever you all want to take, mother, father, anybody, it's not only about the mothers, the women. We all go through this problem with communicating. So he or she enters, and there is a volley of words which is just shot out from your mouth. and the listeners, perhaps your family members, that you're wondering, what is auntie or uncle speaking about? Is she speaking about her house help? This is her husband. Oh my God, she's gone abroad. That it must be her children. All in that short span, in that agitated manner, you go without completing the last letter, and it can be disastrous if you do not understand what the speaker is speaking. The poor listener will be out of context, absolutely confused. Now we've spoken enough about the speaker. Let's come to the next. Just let's do the flip side, the listener. That too is extremely sad, whether you are in your professional life, your personal, you are speaking, and you're speaking something very important. But the listener is not ready to understand. So, what is he or she doing? Just hearing. Just hearing. That means, in a total layman's language, you hear from one ear and from the other ear it goes out. एक कान से सुनो, दूसरे कान से बाहर. That is once again a disastrous condition, because there might be important points that that speaker is briefing you about, which you are taking as a joke. I'll understand. I'll try to, I'm hearing it out. So what is the moral of the story till now? The moral of the story is that in order to speak well or in an articulate manner, you have to listen, you have to understand. And in order to speak well, you must read a lot. If you do not read, there will be no words in your head, and your tongue will be searching for it desperately, which will be displayed as those fillers, which can actually be disastrous for all of us. Like, I want to go for an interview, and I go on with those fillers. Sorry, you will not be entertained. And moreover, if you're not speaking well, what will happen? You will not be very popular, because people will not be able to understand what you are speaking. This is the power of communication skills. It builds up relationships. It builds up your career. It builds up you as a person who people would like to listen. So, my dear friends, I would now like to just share whatever is we've just spoken. It is communication and active listening, right? Is it clear till here? So now, why it matters? This is what I just conveyed. Builds trust and understanding, helps prevent conflicts and misunderstanding. Essential in leadership, teamwork, relationships, education, and daily life, right? I first wanted to speak to you all before I. So now there are two pillars of communication: the verbal expression and clarity, and the next is body language and your presence. Now, communication is of two types. What are they? The verbal and the non-verbal. Verbal is what we've just spoken about, And non-verbal, it is your body language and your facial expressions. You come with a deadpan face, either as a teacher or as a student, as a spouse, as a co-worker. You will be attracting also people with the deadpan expression. And I'm sure not much work will be given to you. And it is the biggest insult that because of your communication skills, nobody is giving you work. That means there is something which you must do immediately. So your facial expression should match. That is, the non-verbal must be in sync with your verbal. Very good. Very good. Oh, wow. Wow. Conveys a lot. The person who is listening or seeing you will know that, oh, you're not very happy with his or her success. You are saying wow, but your facial expression is saying something else. Now, your body language. My God. An integral part of communication. Once again, it just builds up or breaks up your personality. You slouch, you stand like this, which means that I'm not ready for a change. It does matter. So, my dearest listeners, I hope I have been able to convey my points to you, which is I have already made a PPT for all of you, but I thought that we can deal with that later, or you all can read it, because I wanted to communicate with all of you face to face. And right in my first class, I did not want that a PPT should be shown and my face should be. So this is what is direct eye-to-eye contact, which equates to good communication skills. You can connect better. The listener and the speaker, they have that great connection. That means it leads to a happy scenario of learning. So communication skills just does not involve your speech or your words, but how you speak, how much you speak, where you speak, your verbal and non-verbal match. Are they matching? Your body language, is it correct? So, darling, my dearest listeners, God bless each one of you, and hope to meet you in the next class where we will discuss each point in depth. Thank you. Take care, all of you.